best scorers after the second half. But when you're forcing Chet Holmgren to take jumpers against Will Richard, when you're forcing these OKC drivers and slashers to settle for the jump shots, that's the kind of defense you want. That is exactly what completely derails their flow and takes the swagger out of their half-court offense. Great execution on defense for the Warriors. Third quarter, for sure.
Third quarter Warriors were really alive today here in this building. What I loved is that the Warriors, they were not rattled. I love that they took care of playing like he got snobbed last year. Like what I'm seeing from Shai right now is a hunger. You saw he went 5 for 6 from the three-point line. He was getting to the paint at will. When the Warriors were making the run, he was the guy who got into the teeth of the defense, went on Pat Spencer, and scored and broke that run. Shai is a one-man wrecking crew right now, all across the NBA. When he scores 30 points in the night, that's a bad night for him. Tonight was a perfect example in crunch time.
38 points tonight, Zena. 38 points, as Fezzi mentioned, 5 of 6 from the three-point line, just 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Back into shape. I will take this dance here at Chase Center, and he did a little bit of everything.
We know he can snake into the paint. He can snake around screens. He's one of the most creative shot creators in this league. He can score at all 3 levels. But what he did most importantly is what I told you, Bonte, that he would do in our pregame show. Clean up messes. When OKC could not find their outside shot, when they couldn't find their mid-range shot, it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that got things going on defense, got things sped up for the Warriors, and then found his shot again in that second half. This is why he's #1 in points in the fourth quarter. He's #1 in points in clutch time. He finishes things for OKC.
And he's also making some history here. #2 on the all-time list. This is how many straight games he scored at least 20 points.
Well,
he scored at least Fezzi in 94 consecutive games behind Wilt Chamberlain, who he just surpassed. Wilt Chamberlain is on this list twice.
Whenever you are, that's actually insane. Whenever you are on a list with Wilt, with MJ, with Kevin Durant, Oscar Robertson, you are in elite company. This is basketball gods, basketball greats. The way Shai is playing right now, this is how the team is getting its swagger. He's coming on the floor. He's scoring at will. He's leading the charge on the defensive end. He's one of the leaders in steals on the team. I mean, all across the boards, he's filling in. But tonight was a perfect example of why this team is as good as it is. You're missing about 3 key players on your team. Isaiah Hartenstein. You're missing
Lou Dort.
So you're missing your defensive players, and you're missing one of your key offensive guys in the big man. And he says, no problem. I got you. 38 points. You can take that for you. Take that with you. 5 or 6 from the three-point line.
Put it in your pocket.
Zena, you do a podcast on the NBA, and there's a lot of NBA fans who say it's tough to watch SGA. We watched SGA inside the Chase Center tonight from that tunnel. I had enjoy watching him. That's a great basketball player.
Unbelievable basketball player, unbelievable leader. We were watching him just be able to point out the offense, right? Had the ball in his hands and was putting things in order. But he's so buttery. And it was so funny because he had yellow shoes on tonight, and I was like, there's something about that. But he is so smooth just going into the paint. He gets to where he wants to get to. That's just what's so special about him, is that you have to find a way to stop him, but he has a counter move to your counter move to your counter move. And it doesn't do too much. He doesn't exert too much energy. He gets to his spots with ease, and then he gets up, and it's that face, right? It's the gestures, and his team is on the bench rallying him up, revving him up, and it's just fun to watch. And I love that they're a pack like that together.
Smooth like butter. SGA, no doubt about
Coach
it.
Tom, whose hands do you want the ball in?
SGA, no doubt.
The ball in his hands. He's getting to the rim. He's shooting threes. And when Shai is shooting threes, when he starts to get that comfortable, then Oklahoma City is really tough to beat.
Shooting just under 48% last month.
That was his Achilles heel last year.
Right.
That's why I said he got better this season at getting to the spots that he wants to get to.
5 or 6 tonight. If he becomes a 3-level scorer, the MVP is basically his. I don't care what Nikola Jokic is doing out in Denver. It's going to be a hell of a race for the MVP award as well as the NBA championship in the Western Conference. However, Jimmy Butler looked a little tight in that second quarter, moving around very gingerly. Remember, he was questionable tonight with a glute contusion. Well, he did not play during this, so this is another injury to monitor for the Golden State Warriors again. Jimmy Butler, left knee soreness, Fezzi.
It's a tough blow for the Warriors. Yet another injury, currently dealing with Steph. Now Jimmy, who is the guy that the Warriors are looking to lean on when Steph is out the game. So right now they're playing, wow, this is that's a really tough look for the Warriors. inspired basketball regardless, because losing Jimmy in the middle of the game right there, usually a team goes down. But what I loved and what I enjoyed seeing is those points in the paints that we were talking about that usually Jimmy is a leader of, well, they found it in a bunch of different ways. You saw GP2 make buckets, make plays for his teammates. I saw Seth Curry come into the game, hit some big shots. Draymond hit some big shots. The team really filled in for themselves. This is a team, you say what you want about moral victories, but if you lose your key guys and your bench comes in and plays the way they do, I feel like there was a step towards finding that identity that Steve Kerr's been looking for.
I feel like you're transmitting your thoughts right into my brain, because that's exactly what I was thinking. This is an opportunity for the Warriors to be able to look at their bench. This is not the end-all be-all. Guys, this is early in the season, okay? There's still three-fourths, of the season to keep going. And this is where you find the guys that can step up, the guys that can make habits of being good off of the bench. We know that the Warriors have had a wonderful bench. They've been blessed with a wonderful bench these last few years. This year was struggling a little bit, trying to find more consistency out of them. So this is an opportunity. We're not going to look at it as a positive that Jimmy is hurt, don't get me wrong. But if there's a silver lining, it is being able to find those guys to step up and step in.
You need them on this 4-game trip. Again, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Chicago. That's a tough trip in the Midwest there. But you talked about guys coming off the bench here. How about Seth Curry? His first game as a member of the Golden State Warriors. We signed him yesterday. They've been waiting to sign him. We got all these years, so he knew exactly where to be, when to cut, when to pass. And he could always score the basketball.
On the floor, and his first bucket was tough. A step-back jumper with a hand in your face. From there, it was just on and popping. All right, Seth Curry was trying to. I thought they needed to draw more plays for him.
Yeah.
And now the Warriors are seeing what he can bring to the floor. It's just good to have him on the floor with Steph Curry missing and that three-point shot. I thought it was beautiful, a beautiful addition for the Warriors offense.
Absolutely. Before the game started, Seth Curry stopped by with Kerith Burke, and he talked about the positives of this team being veteran, being established. And now he inserts himself as another one of those people. As soon as he got on the floor tonight, pointing folks out. Yep. Get over here, get over here. He's talking through the defense aspect of it, and then, of course, contributed what he did on offense. I love just how flawlessly he came in and started directing things, and he was part of that group that was forcing the issue at the rim. Seth ain't but so big, okay? Right. So the fact that Seth is doing that, GP2's doing that, Pat Spencer's doing that, this was great for him to model that for the young guys.
The best part of this all is that, that number 31 jersey looks so good on him. I love that number on him.
The spacing, the shooting,
yes,
which Dalton mentioned during the pregame show. They take a lot of attempts. One of the top teams in the league when it comes to three-point attempts. They don't make as much. They're in the middle of the pack there, but you had a three-point shooter like that who we knew shot in the mid-40s last year. Seth Curry's going to help this basketball team. And now Steve Kerr's got to figure out who's going to get minutes on this roster. Well, a lot of people put their best foot forward in that third quarter for the Warriors tonight. Pat Spencer, Seth Curry, but they do fall short. They finished 2-3 on this 5-game homestand. They're now 11-11 on